Hello and welcome to episode 33 of Simple Ken. I have some cool folks with me. Also, coincidence? Comicstaan contestant from each season? Crazy!
What?
But it's not official Comicstaan
Which
podcast.
season? Shut up.
It's time for simple. It's time for simple. It's time for simple Ken. It's time for simple. It's time for simple. It's time for simple Ken.
Okay, so I'm very excited for this one because I was sitting watching Comicstaan. It's released finally, July 15th it came out. It's been 5 days, Shamik?
Yeah, 5 days. 5 days is about
Yes.
right.
Yes, so Shamik was the latest contestant from season 3. Shreeja, of course. Who doesn't know Shreeja?
Well.
Season
For
2.
those of you uninitiated, season 2.
And Prashasti, the gem that was found from the mountainside from season 1.
Indo-Gangetic plains. Grasslands से गोबर थोड़ा हटा के.
Oh, season 1, one of my top 3 seasons.
So, I mean, we took 2 years to make Comicstaan because of COVID. When it came out, this is the first time I was like, I want this not to burn out quickly. Also, unlike last seasons, they released it together. So it came and I had so many emotions. And then I was like, wait, I have a podcast. I could just ask them in a nice format because I was thinking as an audience who's been following Indian comedy, they would love to see 3 perspectives of. I want to see it. So I assume someone would like to see it. So I wrote down Prashasti properly established comic. It's a favorite word in the scene.
Even I like this word at all.
Yeah, established comic who's
The right amount of izzat.
yeah, no, which is like a vague term. I don't know what
It's
established.
not amazing,
Yeah.
not a blockbuster. Established.
She knows what
Yeah.
she's doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
अपने tax pay करती थी.
Yeah.
So on a path. So she's touring a special right now. So I feel like that by that point you're
Yeah.
established. Shreeja, I used Hidden Gem for you.
Oh, Hidden
Hidden
Gem.
Gem season 2.
Same area.
Yeah.
of
Yeah, just everyone's gems.
Hidden Gems.
Gems, the colored one. And Shamik, who has been in the Bangalore scene for a while and is actually one of the favorites of the new season.
Not giving much away.
Obviously, a lot of people said that I'm biased. I said I addressed it. I said even though it's from bias, I might be biased, but I wasn't. Actually, I was very hard on anybody equally. Like it, and Shamik and Pavitra spoke English, so they were like, "You're biased too." I'm like, "No, the worst scores I gave was to them."
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And another review came out saying that they're not giving English comedian support. They're only supporting Hindi comedy. What is this, dude? Only the comics from the Delhi were getting high scores. And I was like, wow, I've never heard this perspective.
People are going more with the feeling than the real scores that they saw. They're
Yeah.
ignoring the numbers.
Which is nice. Like, that's what you want, where people should watch the show, be like, ye to anyay hai, this person. So it's nice drama is happening. So, first question to all 3 of you. What was your perception of stand-up comedy with Mumbai in context and perception of Comicstaan? So we'll go in order.
Okay. This is like pre-Comicstaan, you're saying the perception of a comedy scene,
Yes,
right?
this is proper press question.
For me, though, it's a story only that I used to do comedy because like I used to get bored at my job and I never thought that this will be a career. And I knew, of course, there's a way to do it. Like, people prepare their 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then they release videos. And that is how you probably get an audience. I never thought I will be able to do it because like for me this was just fun and I thought maybe I should not make it seriously, take it too seriously or depend on it for money because I thought paisa kahan hi kitna hi milega comedy karke. And I think when Comicstaan ka call happened, again my perception again was biased because I used to work on reality shows in television. So I told them कि अच्छी बात है लेकिन इससे किसी का करियर नहीं बन जाता है और आपको जो करना कर लो, मैं नौकरी छोड़ के तो नहीं आऊंगी आपके लिए.
Also, you have a background in TV, so you know.
Yeah. So that's how I'm telling them and then they're telling me this is a big opportunity. And this is season 1, so we don't have any you don't have a benchmark. You don't know how it will do. मैं इतना पढ़ाई करके MBA करके रगड़ के यहाँ तक पहुँचूँ. मेरा प्रमोशन हुआ है अभी मैं नौकरी तो नहीं छोड़ूंगी. And I did not quit my job. I got a sabbatical quite magically in my office, and that's why I did the show. And of course, even till the time I think till the show released, none of us actually at that time knew कि ये कितना इससे किसी का कुछ करियर में धक्का लगने वाला है कि नहीं लगने वाला है, right? Because all of us are skeptical. The show really did well, and it did so well कि within 1 month, people in my office were like, "What are you doing here? Just go."
Nice. No, there was also a lot of cringe fighting police with because they were like, as a comedian, being a judge on a comedy show is very opposite of being a stand-up comedian. Like, yeah, what's this nonsense? But we kind of knew that it helped our careers also. Like it I think solid. Like a lot of the audiences started using terms that we as comics take for granted. Like as judges, we were saying stuff like premise and escalation. I was going to say evacuation. Escalation. Evacuate the set. and I think after that, we I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing, but Comicstaan cultivated one cult audience of like comedy appreciators.
Yeah.
We started seeing comments on videos that said that it's not a tight set. And people who run venues. This is something a lot of comics didn't know. People who run venues saw audiences that were not coming before coming, because I think till then YouTube was like a young people audience. Comicstaan was something the older folks could see.
Basically, subscription people started coming to watch, live shows. Basically, people who had better paying capacity. I think a lot of that mix came into like the live audience mix.
People who would otherwise just go for one of your 1 hour shows or just your show started coming, seeking out other smaller shows also with lineups that have, like there was a redirection of the audience also, that who would otherwise just go to an auditorium to watch one of like you guys on the panel.
Yeah, it's that people don't want to try new things. So I think what like people who in OML and Amazon also, they had it's actually very cool insight. They were like, people are comfortable watching you guys, so we take them into coming for you, and then they will give new comics a chance because they don't want to take that chance because we all do that. We don't listen to a new musician. Like, I don't know this guy's name.
For sure.
So it was like a nice path. So in the beginning, we were like, oh yeah, but after all, now in retrospect, I think it's like the best job ever.
Yeah. And to add to what she was saying, when your season came out, before that, because I was already doing open mics, I had seen, the audiences who are coming out to our mics. After a few months, you start seeing them again at your shows, and you realize, we have a very finite pool who like us. And the rest don't give a damn. So that pool, I think, might have gotten a bit bigger.
So Shreeja, you are a comic. Where you were doing open mics when Comicstaan 1 came out, right?
Yeah, I had just started that year when Comicstaan had come out. So I think, which is why it was a bigger gamble for their season, because there was no proof of concept. It was dedicating 2-3 months of your life to something that you have no idea how it will do. Plus also judgment of reality show.
Yeah, but nobody. That part is weird. Like I want anyway. Audience is judging. That's enough. Yeah, don't need more people.
Yeah. So at that time, like even then, like even after I'd seen that it was doing so well for all of them. Like there were audiences streaming in for all of them. Even then I was conflicted because I was like, I don't know, is this the right way it's done?
Is it like you were worried about perception from...
actually at that time your perspective is not audience based. It's very like, what are the other 5
comics.
people on the on the line of thinking about what I'm doing. So it was like a very...
Like you sold out.
Yeah.
You just want fame.
Yeah, sell out. And plus
that's why you're on a field where you're talking to other people. Because you don't care about fame.
but that's what. So at that time, it was the conflict was, I don't know, man. And at that time, Nishant Suri had only spoken to me. and he was like, मैं तो तुझे आकर बहुत गालियाँ दूंगा अगर तूने नहीं किया, because I was not doing anything else. It's not like I had work. I was sitting free. I had left my job. I had no writing work. I used to do nothing with my mornings. So he was like, then why would you not do it? Are you dumb? And I was like, कि नहीं यार मेरा एक बैंगलोर कॉमेडी फेस्ट में मेरा स्पॉट है तो वो मेरा मिस हो जाएगा.
I remember her saying something. What?
I just told them this.
सबको बता रही कि मेरा स्पॉट है. Like,
I didn't know Suri encouraged you. That's so nice. Because
So and then at one open mic, I'd met Kanan also, and he was like, you should apply. मतलब उसने the matter of factly बोला. I was like, फिर तो करना चाहिए फिर. So that's what, like, that's how that's what the perspective then was of Comicstaan, but then I obviously applied.
I think थोड़ा फर्क उससे पड़ता है. I remember season 1 में भी I think the out of the 10 of us, the people who were least conflicted or who were most like who had zero issues like this were people who had jobs before or who had just come, like me, Dua, Suri, Saurav Mehta, all of us I think had this thing कि of course कुछ भी काम करेंगे उसमें judgment तो होगा ही, उसमें perception management तो होगा ही, उसमें कुछ लोग तो बोलेंगे ही कि this is not the right way, that is not the right way. As in we're not having these discussions right there, but I think again I can see कि there was a difference that people who probably were either too new in the scene or people who were coming from a different industry altogether. I think were more clear in their heads कि why would you not do this?
I might be wrong, but I think when you came on the show, you were ready to be abandoned by the scene. Like,
Yeah, but
Right?
that is something
you're
I
like,
have to
I think I'm
accept
gonna
now.
go back. It's never gonna be the same. It's okay. It's worth this. Like, it's a quite. I think if everyone's like clear about why they're on the show, it becomes easier.
And also, like by the second season, we knew what all the rounds will be, what all is supposed to be done, and that was another this thing that I can do stand up. I can stand in one place and talk, but improv, sketch, all I have no idea how it's done. I'm going to make a fool of myself. I'm going to put up something cringy. Should I make a fool of myself in front of everyone?
Yeah,
Like I'm
for sure. That was a
16.
big thing I've thought about a lot.
Are we not letting Shamik speak?
No, we'll come to Shamik.
Yeah.
We'll come to
Shamik,
Shamik.
yeah. So-
No, I was. I mean, I'll to add to that, and then I'll say my thing. I always think, because I've not released anything online, I'm like, okay, so the first thing I'm going to release might be something I'm not good at, which is like a sketch thing, and the whole world is going to see me and assume this is the one thing you can do. You thought this would be what the country wants to see right now, but yeah, I mean, so when was Comicstaan season 1? Which year?
2017 and we shot it 2018 July. we
Okay,
released
so I had started. Wow, that's amazing. But how she
I was
pretty.
I was mortified right now when you asked me. I was like, I have zero idea.
Yeah, Gary was. Yeah.
Then Prashasti to the rest.
अरे मेरा जॉब का लास्ट महीने नोटिस पीरियड याद है
Oh,
मुझे ना.
yeah, that's why.
आपको अपना साल तो याद ही रहेगा यार.
So I started doing stand up in 2016. So I had done it a couple of years, and honestly, when Comicstaan came out the first time, I'm one of those people who was telling anyone who was thinking of applying, you're a loser.
Oh, nice. We have
Yeah.
all
But that
perspectives
person-
here.
Yeah, I was like, what's wrong with you? You sell out. And then I saw it on every cab. They really did a crazy marketing campaign for the first one. Like every Ola cab or whatever, or whichever brand you prefer, had like a Comicstaan poster on it. And it was really big. And I was like, okay, I think this might get really big. So inside I was like, this is going to get big. But I was still holding on to my, we should not sell out. And then I did that again when the second season came out. I'd got some sort of, I think they reached out to some comedians to apply. I was like, no, I'm still strong.
Really? Second season also?
Yeah. I had a job. I was like, I'll figure it out. And then we were still, me and some friends, we were like, no, we should. Are you doing it? No? No, right? We're all not doing it, right? Yeah, cool, done. And then we stuck to our pact, but then the third time around, we all were like, are we doing it? No, right? But everyone said no, but everyone knew everyone meant yes. And everybody applied, and me included. And because I'd been in the scene long enough, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I see what it can do for you. It's a great platform to showcase yourself. And my doubts that I had about my style, I have a very particular style which maybe not everybody will gravitate towards. I was like, if I can get to that platform, then there's a good chance it will get to some percentage of that audience that I'm looking for. So that was really the goal, man, and just try to do the stand-up rounds well, like Shreeja was saying, and then we'll figure out the rest.
Oh man.
No,
and then my stand-up rounds only sucked. That was the worst. Oh
It
god.
did suck, dude.
Some of them.
No, I mean, if anybody talks about second scene, they all bring up you, Lee. It's very
Yeah,
frustrating.
man. You're
You're
really-
fully
and
wrong.
even they bring it up, even when I'm on stage, they're like, you remind me of Shreeja, actually. You will have to find your audience.
I'm flat.
Your ghost still
No,
haunts
that's
the
just-
show, Shreeja.
That's honestly done as a producer note that you connect the universe,
For
the
sure.
comedic Comicstaan
Yeah.
multi-universe. No, but I think now when I think of it, I think you came at the perfect time because I think one of your endearing things was like you didn't show that, but you didn't seem shaken by the show. You were like, I'm not gonna change who I am
Yeah.
for the round. It's just like I think you've been in the scene for so long. You had your voice.
Yeah.
I think these guys had some mental like breakdown because imagine like the pressure they went through. They still are like doing stand up
Yeah.
and figuring out what they like about it,
True.
and they're being seen on national TV, and we're like just some 8-10 judges are telling them feedback. Oh man,
Yeah.
so
But I think no, the good thing also, of course, there's pressure. There was pressure, like there is pressure because you have to perform every week and you have to write sets every week and the judgment. But I think because we did not know the stakes properly at that time,
that's what
like because we could not visualize the number of people who could be watching us.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone knew it's big and it's fancy and there's money involved here, so clearly कुछ बड़ा ही होने वाला है. But because like, I think second season would have been probably a little more intimidating that way because
okay, let's
yeah.
judge which is the most
I
intimidating.
mean, I've got reasons that I could go with season 3.
Season 3 is
Yeah,
was daunting.
Yeah, it's the
I think
test
that
match.
we all testify probably that season 3 because it took so much time and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Journey. It was a journey.
No, you can make your case first. It's fine.
Mine was intimidating. See, by my this thing, the decision was very dependent on मेरे दोस्त अप्लाई कर रहे हैं क्या तो मैं like you were saying basically then मैं like अप्लाई कर लेते साथ में फिर हो गया तो थोड़ा कुछ
पर परफॉर्मेंस
करके
के
आ
टाइम पे
जाएंगे।
ये लगता था क्या कि बहुत लोग देखने वाले हैं बड़ा शो है बेसिक हमारा ये था कि जजेस और ऑडियंस इट वाज लाइक परफॉर्मिंग इन अ बिग लाइव शो जहाँ पे यू डोंट वांट टू बॉम्ब बट आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ अस वर नॉट थिंकिंग अबाउट द
Correct.
Amazon
Because you had no
audience.
idea the
Yeah.
what
So
reach is
I think I'm asking ki, were you guys thinking about the Amazon viewers while shooting for it also?
in fact thinking about it to a fault that you are thinking about that the cameras more than what your live presence should be.
I wasn't thinking about the cameras, but I was thinking about putting across a version of myself that is true to what I'm going to be after the show. Or will people come and be like, this is not the guy on the show, right? And so that's why even like with every set that I was doing, even if it's a clean set, I was trying to put some little bit of darkness there because I'm like, it'll be there in the live show. To the point where even when one round Kenny was like,
Don't
"Why
come
did
with
you-"
sunflowers to my show.
Yeah, he at one round he was like, why did you add that shooting thing in a bus set? Like,
Yes, observational set.
Yeah, it freaked me out. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, that needs like 20 minutes.
yeah, it's like I just set up a set and left it.
Yeah,
for
you like
later.
me? Not so soon, man.
Yeah, so I was very conscious of that aspect. Am I coming across? But I what I'm getting is people can read through your words. They get more. It's more about what they feel you are as a person through the, at least based on all the feedback I'm getting so far, which is just a couple of days worth.
It's the beautiful thing about stand-up is we as performers think that, oh, I don't think this joke defines who I am, but you'll just be surprised. Like you get on stage and just the way you open a set shows like so much depth about who you are. Without you even trying. Like I think all three of you, like I can say with insane confidence, have such different ways of opening. where I think Prashasti will I mean, I'm just just guessing. Prashasti will come on stage and kind of make sure the audience is comfortable. Like, thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. And we'll have fun. And like, very caring. And then Shreeja will come with one boisterous, like, yo, welcome to my kingdom. And it's like, it's a very mischievous, playful.
Yeah.
And it's just so single. And then you come on stage and your, I think, goal is whatever the vibe was, I don't like it. So I want to come and only change the vibe so that you are as miserable as I am right now. But we
That's
laugh.
comedy, ladies and
But that's so apt for all three of us.
Yeah, and I'm like, so then there's no thought going into that. You're just being, and I think you're just like, how do I make sure the audience understands? It's from the first line you say, the audience can immediately be like, oh, I think this person is this type of person. So you don't have to worry too much.
And the thing about defining your style in the beginning, since I've done it for a few years, I've also realized when you're on a lineup show with people of different energies, and most people's energy is higher than mine, so I have to sometimes when I'm following someone who's really high energy, like I've even done it once in an open mic. I think Pavitra was right before me and she's very high energy, and she was more high energy that day. She'd had like,
is that even possible?
yeah, like she had like 3 Red Bulls or something. And I went up and I said, I told the audience, come down first. I stayed silent for like 20 seconds. I said, forget comedy was happening. We'll start from the ground again.
Hard relate.
And then it worked. If I started there, they would be like, what is this guy? Where is this? He's not even doing comedy right now. So
Actually, to be honest, now when I think of it, all three of you introduced the new voice to the scene. I know this sounds very dumb, but
Dumb to nahi sound kar raha.
no, I mean like, I mean,
अच्छा
sounds
sound
very
कर रहा है, और
like,
बोलिए.
I'm on the show, but like till I think Prashasti came, the I'm sorry, not best word, but like the conversationalist comedian was not there, where the jokes were sprinkled in the way you construct a casual sentence. Where most comedy before that, me included, was very tone-based comedy, where like, and then I was like, what? It's like, that's the funny part. But Prashasti had like conversational like humor sprinkled in. So if like it hits you like late and you're trying to catch up, like, oh my god, that's so funny how she put an oxymoron in the last sentence. And then you thought obviously a very, very different style. Which I honestly was worried because I was like, I come from Bangalore open mic scene from 5 years ago, where if you were not yelling, no one cares about you. Also because no one was paying attention. And then Shamik also has, I was also very worried for him. I was just like, all these comics are like high energy. How is he gonna? Because the audience kind of expects that, but luckily, touchwood, all three have been recognized for their talent. So
Indeed.
there is
pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, man.
This is the glasses episode.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a very strange question. So where are you at your life now?
Oh my god.
Not
I think you start from there.
not career wise. Personally, right now, today, where are you at?
It's a weird place to begin with because I've always thought like even in stand-up I've sort of started late. I would call it late because I started when I was 27. A lot of people have done stand-up for like 5 years by then. So
Wait, how old are you now?
I'm 33, guys. Believe it or
Wow.
not. Please censor that. You can cut that out. It's not. The number of messages I get are gonna drop. But
No, you was 33.
I found out recently.
Are you disappointed?
yeah.
दे मतलब लगता तो नहीं
Hey, how about impressed?
है. Impressed.
But so it's a weird place because it in a way a career is starting, I feel, but I'm also like I've been doing this for a while and I've given up like Prashasti, I've given up another career. I was just doing engineering like a regular guy and there was no TV connection, nothing for me. So I think part of my mind was always like I think I will go back to that at some point. But more and more that is like going away. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So you're there right now.
yeah, I'm
where
there.
It's dawning on you that this could be your career.
Correct. And it's dawning on me that I can figure something out in this line more than anything else. I'm not really someone who's got a very clear-cut goal of in these many years I want to do this. It's more about, I mean, honestly, with the pandemic, my perspective on things has changed. It's just living more day to day because you don't know when things will change.
So that's the Shamik is there where he's like, oh my god, this is going to be my life now. What about you, Shreeja? Right now, today.
Today, it's actually a conflict with my pace, in the sense, it's very difficult to accept that everyone works at their own pace, and some will go much faster than you, and like will be at a very ahead of you, basically. So you have to accept it.
And how do you judge that? By social media number, by ticket sales?
By very shallow numbers.
No, I mean, there's nothing else to see. And I'm also curious, is there another metric that
It's
I
the
don't
only
know?
metric. Right?
And in terms of how much material has been built, or
Sure.
even what they're saying with their material, or what they're saying.
The
in
quality
their-
is very high, you say.
Yeah, like if there's like something different they're doing, or if like there's something more they're doing, playing with the format or all of that. So there's that. So like my constant this thing is like telling myself that it's okay. I mean, you're in this for a long time, and then there will be phases where you will slow down, and then slow down more, and then slow down further.
Wait, it's only going in one direction.
There'll be time then you die.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, I don't know if I'm making sense.
No,
but
it makes perfect sense.
basically-
That's
of us
very
have been
similar
there.
to. No, it's so nice to hear someone else say you're in it for the long run. And my favorite anecdote is I was hanging out with the person who manages the Punjabi music scene. So Yo-Yo Honey Singh and all.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy. And I was driving with him and I asked him, you manage all these great, huge artists who've become massive. What's like the one observation? And he said it in Punjabi, so I won't say it. But he said, the only thing standing in the way is themselves. Like if Yo-Yo was not struggling with his inner demons, there's no reason why he wouldn't be like the biggest guy right now. He just had a lot of inner demons he couldn't sort, and he just got into whatever, and he couldn't come out of it. And that's when I realized, oh, it's not even trying to impress the audience or high quality, or it is just like you don't self-destruct. That's like you have to survive for 30-40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there'll be ebbs and flows, sort of, basically.
True.
So
And it's not
That's-
like, I think to add to what you're saying, it's not like a regular job, right?
Yeah.
So in jobs, things are defined. You're defined by a role.
Yeah.
There's clear progression. There's also a correlation between how much experience you have and where you are. All that you have to just put
Yeah, like
aside.
self-doubt itself is a massive thing that can stop you, where it gets to you one day and you're like, it's not worth it. It's not worth this negativity I'm getting. So I'm just going to stop, which is like the biggest disservice you could do.
Yeah.
but I have very clear financial goals.
No, no.
मतलब पैसे तो बहुत सारे कमाने हैं, देखते हैं आराम से किस
Yeah.
चीज से कमा सकते हैं वो सब.
Like the more money you make, the more free you feel when you do content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
The more slow you can slow down.
Hey man.
And where you at, Prashasti? If you
But
have
let me
something
phrase
for
it,
the
yeah,
audience.
better for the audience.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking while they were talking. I think I've been there where, of course, at some point I was like, oh, this is going to be career or what, and for the first 6 months, while doing comedy full time, also I thought my bosses had told me that you come back anytime. One boss said, you're not that funny, okay, so but you should take this opportunity, but you come back if it doesn't work out. So they've been there, okay, and I think uske baad, during the pandemic was mostly just being extremely existential about am I even good or not, or blah blah blah, or what people are doing, what I am doing. I think now, and this has come more after touring, I think for the first time I have clearer goals, in the sense that luckily since Comicstaan released, I never had to go after getting an audience, in the sense that I was very happy with the audience that was coming to my show, okay, the numbers that were coming to my show. I also feel comfortable with the small, I just like having a cozier setup to do stand-up in. So, and my main problem used to be the quality of my stand-up. And I think now I'm at a place where I've made peace with the fact is the quality of my stand-up is improving, and we're here for the longer haul, so it will slowly improve. And I'm not very disappointed with where I am in terms of what I'm creating. But I think for the first time, I want more audience to watch me. Like, I think because I think I was old enough when Comicstaan came, I think the fame thing only affected me for a couple of months. And then I came back to being very normal, where I was like, okay, this fame is not something you run after. You run after making things that make you happy and make people happy. And that is a big challenge, okay? Like making both these parties happy at the same time. But now I realize that I need to sort of run after fame for some functional reasons, in the sense that I've not had a YouTube channel since I came into picture, because I've never felt the need for it. I was like, jitne log aa rahe hain, they all literally like me. Okay, they are like me and they like me. And what else can I ask for? I want these 100 people to come to watch me, and that's all. But when I was touring, I was like, oh no, you know what? Now I want to do nicer venues. I think there are more people in this city who could be like me, but they've not discovered me. So I need to. So I'm at that phase. I need to crack this particular part of the equation, which I have luckily not. I've not been bothered by or not thought about yet, and that's a little tricky.
Man, it's like every comic I talk to, it's like social media, YouTube is like one cancer that's growing inside.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I deal with this thing?
Yeah.
I can't ignore it because it's in my body. But at the same time, it's such a... The problem is that you need social media to promote nowadays. At the same time, that itself is a different job.
Yeah.
So you can't possibly be doing two things. So I think everyone feels this fatigue because they feel like they have two jobs.
Yeah.
One is the...
And though that audience, you don't understand also that well, no? But the thing is, your stand-up audience, you do stand-up for a few years, you just exactly know that these are the people who opt in to watch you, who, and for all of us would have different audience, okay? But you understand some basic things about them, कि उनको ये मजा आता है और मुझको भी मजा आता है, so here's the overlap. The social media audience, I don't understand.
Dude, they're scary, dude. You know, my favorite thing in social media... So I've been in YouTube since 2007.
Yeah.
10th standard I started doing. So my life has been just reading comments. So I am my
wow.
Yeah. So I've reached full circle now. I think it doesn't affect me anymore. And from 2007 for 5 years, every comment I responded to saying thank you so much.
Wow.
Really appreciate
What?
it. Because you get 5-10 comments. No. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Please subscribe. And Karan keeps making fun of. He has screenshots of this. I say thank you so much. I have not been doing my best. I will do my best. I will give you more content.
Wow.
So I've seen this whole thing, and what's scary now is back in the day, comments were either this is hilarious or you suck. And boy, I miss those comments. Now you get paragraphs of people psychoanalyzing you. I was talking to Rahul Subramaniam. He had posted a story of someone who doesn't know, just hated him, like just hated who Subbu was. And Subbu also responded with saying, you're a photographer. I guess you're doing something that you're good at. I also want to get good at something. He's like, yeah, you're not. So Subbu's like, I tried love and compassion, didn't work. I was like,
Love and compassion to never works.
yeah, so I've just seen
Online
now.
it never works. So you have to see the eyes to see the love and compassion.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just seeing your bloody words.
But then you need the online audience also.
100%.
So it's like this big
I think it's also
catch-22.
a thrill for some people to type something and send it out into the
I think
interweb.
किसके पास और नॉर्मल लोग क्यों कमेंट करेंगे मतलब
Exactly.
जिसको कुछ प्रॉब्लम है वो of course the good ones guys जो अच्छा भी करते हैं आप नॉर्मल है
Yeah, so then now, you like as you said, stand-up, you're nicely spoiled with feedback. You don't get that with online anymore.
Yeah.
Like, if it's getting views, but the comment section is very quiet. Like, so I guess you can't. You just have to put your head down and just keep
and do it.
putting out stuff because the feedback thing is gone. And if I do an EMA on Instagram, the sweetest people comment. So I'm like, okay, it's not as toxic as we think. Okay, now we have come to the part of the podcast where we answer questions from people who have asked us on the comment section.
Cool.
So we have spoken about ourselves. I think people have an idea of who we are. They have context. So now let's try to. This podcast for uninitiated is it's not a podcast. First of all, second, we don't give advice. We just nicely relate that everybody's suffering. So, and if we have some tips and tricks to slightly make the suffering a little better, we'll share it. Otherwise, we'll just be like, I fully agree. Yeah. So this question is. I just like the adjective she used. She said her name is, she wants to be anonymous because she's bitching about a friend. My best friend got back with this guy I absolutely despise. Like he pulled a Kabir Singh on her. But now I don't know what to do, honestly. So Kabir Singh is such a broad adjective. It could be either he threatened to kill her family, take her Enfield and run off with her, or he's just verbally abusive. So I like this question because it's my favorite morality question. Your best friend is with a bad person. Do you interfere? Best friend, not casual friend. Best friend, clearly with wrong person. Do you just keep it in? Or you say something?
Wrong person, definitely intervene.
The Kabir Singh level.
Kabir Singh level to 100% intervene. Ki, what are you doing?
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
But you have an inkling that she might not take your side.
Yeah, मतलब
he
वो तो
might.
होता ही है. Anyone who's fully involved will not be very willing to listen.
You're willing to get into this.
But even if you say it a little bit, उसके दिमाग में वो बात बैठ तो जाएगी कि इसने कुछ ये बोला है. तो फिर the next time something like this happens, maybe there is this voice that oh हाँ ये भी कह रही है ऐसा ही है. But it's with the wrong, like with a bad person. What if it's with a person that you are not too fond of? Then it's very difficult to tell.
Yeah.
The person is not a bad person, but you just
You think she
boring hai basically.
Yeah, you know, like there's some people you can't stand, but you notice that a lot of people you love that person. So if that's one of those people, then it's totally different. Then
So what is the threshold?
Can't, yeah.
Because it's a very fine threshold.
first I will
between
watch Kabir Singh properly to really gauge what she means.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would directly say it. I would
Even
very,
if it's like a bad
but I would
guy.
say something. I would roast that person in their presence and get them to ask what's your problem with
Yeah,
this person, and then I would reveal it. So
Can you give an example like that's?
I don't really have.
Think of the specific person you thought of. And give
There's
us
no
an-
person. There is no such person. I mean, if there's, let's say, I don't like some trait of that person, I would basically, in presence of both these people, make fun of that person to my friend, targeting that trait.
Okay.
And that's a very bad way to do it. I'm just saying. I'm
That's-
just like,
No, it's not an advice podcast.
fair.
You just tell what
This is
you're
what
doing.
I would do.
But
Yeah.
this is a bad way of doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, even I agree.
Then she's going to think, oh, they're getting along. एक दूसरे का मजाक
No,
उड़ा
that's
रहे हैं.
what is
बहुत
happening.
comfy हो गए हैं ये लोग तो.
That's why I'm surrounded by people I hate.
You can constantly make jokes.
Like, I like this vibe we have where you roast me. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm trying to.
I think I also am very that like if it's a very close friend and I'm sure that this person is bad.
No, best
person.
friend.
Best friend, bad person. I'll be very direct to say that this is not good for you, and I'll probably tell her that when this goes down, I'm here. But like in the sense you can come back. I'm here as a friend. If it does, I won't judge you or I won't say I told you so. I'll be
मैं
there.
तो बोलूंगी I told you so.
I think
That
this
he
is
सुनते नहीं है.
But I will
risk
probably
of
be very
sounding
direct.
gendered. I think this is a female thing. I think guys in general don't get into the fire pit. Like the gladiator ring, we don't.
Yeah.
Unless that person says, by the way,
Yeah.
things are not going well, then be like, since you brought it up.
Correct.
But guys don't.
Like I agree with Shreeja ki when it's a person that like it's very difficult to like your friend's partner as much as you like the friend. That
Yeah.
is hap- that
What is
happens
the
in most
ratio?
cases.
Like is it 4 out of 10 times you don't like, or is it 8 out of 10 times you don't like? For me, it's been 8 out of 10 times. Very rarely like.
Because you guys, I think don't pay that much attention. I like them. It's like, how do I put it? I was trying to tell it. I was trying to do a set also and it doesn't land. So I'll just say it here. That sometimes.
This is a good burial ground for this idea.
Like, if I have a friend who's a complete dumb fuck, okay, with a complete chutia also, and
Best friend.
correct, and it could be possible, right? If your friends are people who are like who
reflection
have
of
n
you.
number of flaws,
Yeah.
but you love
They're a
them for
reflection
one
of who you
reason.
are.
The person with the highest IQ in your friends. I got it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a flawed person who
Yeah.
probably gets a partner who's actually perfect, amazing, and is good in n number of ways. But then that system together is not my friend.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
not. I found something endearing about this friend,
Correct.
which was flaws as well.
And that's why it's that 8 out of 10 thing, right? Because you like your friend because whatever that his or her traits are what you like, and nobody is themselves exactly when
with
they're
their
with
partner.
their partner.
Some of them are. Like, for example,
Yeah.
I have this one friend. I keep telling him that.
Yeah.
I keep telling this friend. He got married, and we used to live in Bangalore. ऊपर नीचे रहते थे. We used to hang out together. Then he got married to someone. I did not meet the girl when he was getting married, but when I met them together, I was like, this is how. Okay, this is good system. Okay, this is enhanced system now. Okay.
Oh, so they're actually better now.
Yeah, and I'm telling his wife was making something in the kitchen. I'm telling my friend
Good.
that your on that specific day, okay, she makes something like she was like, for me she was making something, and I'm telling my friend in the corner, I can't tell her this directly, but तेरी wife बहुत अच्छी है. And my friend, well, this is, by the way, I'm telling him कि तेरी wife बहुत सही है, ठीक है. And my friend, he's doing something and he's like, यार पता नहीं सब लोग ऐसे बोलते रहते हैं क्योंकि I think मैं बहुत cool हूँ. अब वो पता नहीं क्या बोले जा रहा है, ठीक है.
Wow.
I'm not understanding where is he going with this. Okay, then the wife comes and she's like, क्या बात कर रहे हो? He's like, तेरे बारे में बात नहीं हो रही. And I'm like, उसी के बारे में तो बात हो रही है. कह रहा है कि नहीं, वो ये बोल रही है कि मेरी वाइफ बहुत अच्छी है और मैं उसको एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ कि मेरी वाइफ इतनी अच्छी क्यों है.
Oh my
So for 10 minutes,
God.
while I'm telling him his wife is so nice, he is responding thinking, yeah, everyone thinks my wife is nice.
I feel bad for the feel bad for the wife now.
But I think they're beautiful together.
And
Okay?
why does he think you're whispering to him? Hey, your wife is really nice.
He's like,
No, that your wife is in the kitchen. I can't tell her this, but your wife is.
Yeah, so I say that also that your partner perfect. Okay, but if it's a toxic person, I'll definitely say it. Or otherwise,
Okay, I'm gonna raise the stake. They're married to this person.
I will.
Then
I am too late in the.
It's not too late.
मैं पहले क्या कर रही थी?
They have their whole life ahead of them. Instead of
I'm saying I should have intervened before marriage if they were my
Yeah.
best
so
friend.
you're like both sail, let them drown. I can see them from the show, but
see, everyone can handle a certain level of toxicity.
True.
So maybe it's their threshold of toxicity.
No, but if
that
it's
they
not good
can
for them, I'll
handle.
still tell them.
again, you guys are going for like a very I'm saying Kabir Singh level.
Kabir Singh level.
Yeah.
मैं तो तुड़वा दूंगी शादी. मतलब ऐसे
मैं तो एक्चुअली मैं ऐसे घुस चुकी हूँ एक रिलेशन में तोड़ दो यार तुम लोग तोड़
yeah?
दो
Yeah.
हाँ and I knew both of them and I was close to both of them
Yeah.
and still I was like मत करो तुम लोग ये
I think my tendency would be to distance myself.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what
the
I
thing
do.
we would do, right? We'd be
Because
like, yeah.
I'm like, this is their decision.
Yeah.
I have an issue with their relation, so I should get out of
Yeah,
this.
you guys are like putting this person on the lifeboat. I'm jumping into the lifeboat
Yeah.
and leaving the ship myself.
And I'm hoping there's another lifeboat for them.
Correct.
But I think this is not. I'm saying a lot of people do this only. I think for me, when my friends call me, and I know someone told me, the right thing to do when people are complaining about the relationships is to not tell them to
Say
break up
anything,
all the time.
Yeah, I
but
agree
I'm
with
like,
that. Yeah.
if it's come to this.
To Kabir Singh level.
Yeah,
For sure, this
that
is
they're
a-
constantly
level.
calling me
Yeah.
the third person and telling me itna drama hai.
Then, yeah.
And I think because I've been single for such a long time, I also can I can tell them कि भाई इतना डरावना नहीं होता. मतलब
Yeah.
you'll get divorced. You will, of course, people will judge you a little bit because society is
I'm
like
already
that.
scared.
But I say you come here, come to our side. It's not that bad.
but y'all are saying if there's like a psycho gone girl level woman
Oh, we're
that
changing the
you're-
movie
you still
now.
not, you still not intervene.
Yeah, because she'll come after me, dude.
what
And also by the way, if he's fallen, I'm assuming in this situation it's my guy friend and it's gone girl level, as you said. He's already been compromised. So my fear is I go to him and then he turns on me.
that's true
And he's like, oh, I know we have problems,
Yeah.
but you don't have to come and then he'll go and tell her. And now she has gone girl level skills. So she can start infiltrating my friends and be like, Kenny came into our personal life, told my husband.
Yeah.
So, and I have zero skills to handle all this.
but it's your best friend
Okay, how
Yeah,
you guys are not keeping the same stakes for yourself
No, it's my best friend, I know, but she and him could potentially nuclear fucking blast my entire social circle.
of what
Yeah, and I don't have the skills to be like, everybody sit. I want to clarify. I just be like, you know what? I don't want these friends. And then I'll just
Yeah,
relocate.
I actually, anytime my friends get married, I preempt it and distance myself immediately. I'm like, oh, they're married, they're gone now.
I think all of us do to some extent. Okay, sorry, Kenny.
Yeah, it's like, what are we going to talk about, really? Huh?
That's why I have to organize podcasts to talk to my friends. Because they keep cancelling, dude, all the time. Yeah. Shamik also refused to come into my house because I was married.
Yeah, I mean,
So this is a very nice answer. Thank you guys for the... I hope this gave you some clarity. So if you are a woman, interfere. If you're a guy,
Wow.
look for Oyo rooms immediately in different city. This next question I found very interesting. It's from a guy called Shivaksh. Hey Kenny, I'm an aerospace engineer in France and recently got married, so we can't talk to him. Love your podcast, other videos. There's so much stuff happening in India on a regular basis. My parents, like many others, are addicted to contents over social media. As a result, they are kind of non-receptive to any other opinion which doesn't align with theirs. I think these platforms are just isolating like-minded people and amplifying their views exponentially. Every time I try to have the conversation with my parents, the discussion turns into them lashing out and saying, you are already an Angrez and don't know the real problems of India. You don't know anything. I feel it's not just me, but a lot of the young people are struggling to communicate with the older generation without them lashing. Have you struggled with anything similar? And how do you suggest we approach such volatile crowds being our parents, knowing that ignoring is not a solution because they are close family members or are friends of ours?
So I would distance myself from my parents immediately. Like, no.
Ignoring is an option, I think, very strongly. Because only until a certain point you can try to, like, matlab, in your head, show them the light and show them the right way to think. Then after a point, it's like they've had their own experiences and like a much larger sort of...
How old are your parents now?
60 and 63, 58.
Do you still feel like you have an equal relation with the parents, or they still have a strong say in how you live your life?
But the equalish. I mean, they have a say in what time I should come home.
So there will be a consequence to you fighting, no? Like it'll make things really.
Yeah, you'll be grounded, right?
No, I won't be.
No, I mean I'm like, for example, I'm in not that place. Like I'm fully independent of my parents. So I think if I ruffle their feathers, I have the luxury of like not seeing them for a while and calming down.
But that way, that at least like my parents are mature that we'll have a very intense, very high pitched argument about these obviously political beliefs or whatever religious beliefs, and then the next moment we'll be having dinner together and talking about something else. And we have that much that this particular disagreement of ours does not leak into other conversations or this thing.
But
It's
I think
just
that's
a basic
rarity.
reality.
I think you have a nice family.
I agree.
I don't think other people have that where you lash out, and I think that the consequence of that is going to keep leaking into passive aggressive statements like.
Yeah, but statements that you can ignore कि हाँ ठीक है मतलब like you also make passive aggressive statements at them.
I think you don't want your parents to believe that way of thinking. I think that's what breaks your heart. Like
Yeah, and you're worried about when you're seeing it happen, like them getting stuck in some sort of echo chamber online where you can even like a building society group becomes something else, and then you have to recreate a real building society group because that has become a propaganda group.
Yeah.
So it's and you get pulled into it slowly, right? Even we fall prey to it. So imagine parents who to be honest, I spend a lot of time teaching them technology, and now I can't go and now tell them don't use this also. There's too much time. I don't have that patience. But
with a finite time, Shamik interacts with human beings.
yeah, I mean, I charge by the hour. But I think personally, I have not had this problem, at least in terms of on this matter. My parents and I are well aligned. I would say we
really
more or less. No,
been
they're
fazed
not.
by the.
No, they're like we believe in similar things. In this, we argue about other things like what I'm doing with my life mainly. So that's our focus.
I got that forward also. About what Shamik is doing with his life in the society group. And
Yeah.
I had to leave that. What about you, Prash? What is
I think in my case, No, and I think about this question a lot. In my case, I only have my mother to deal with, and my mother is a people pleasing person in the sense that she gives up very quickly. Like she will keep believing what she believes in, but for the sake of argument, she won't be like, okay, okay. I think it's hurt. What is hurtful is not what they end up consuming. It's like you at the end of it, you see this is what they also want to believe. Like this is something they want to. At the end of it, अगर आपका इतना bombardment of fake news आ रहा है या एक certain type का news आ रहा है, you can see कि their tendency somewhere is to lean towards the narrative that suits them. Right? My mother lives in UP, okay, and the narrative that this particular government is doing things for us is easier to believe in than to believe कि हमारे अंदर कुछ ऐसे biases हैं जिससे basically हमें फायदा हो रहा है क्योंकि हमारे कास्ट का आदमी चीफ मिनिस्टर है. So that's something that will never be said, but they will slare it with everything else, and that's a little troubling to see कि आप and my brother has uglier fights with her. He's like कि आप प्रोफेसर हैं, आप पढ़ाती लिखाती हैं, आप आपको तो और and I'm telling him also कि dude, you cannot change someone's lived experience, right? So I think what I'm trying to say is that my mother doesn't bother me so much. Even the relatives who probably lean more towards that side don't bother me that much, because I can see that unka ek lived experience hai, and sometimes when I talk to them, you also see that they are willing to, ऐसा नहीं कि they're not like the loudest voices on social media. They actually probably sometimes get reasonable. What really concerns me are my younger cousins, because their lived experience should not be making them this way. They are genuinely very influenced by whatever they consume on social media, and I start feeling responsible towards influencing them, and I realized I was doing it in a very wrong way, because I would just go and fight or try to just give them this, be very patronizing, because I know better.
Like not give them chocolate.
They're not that young also. So no, they're like they're in college, like first year college, second year college, third year college, and I would just assume that they should respect me for my opinion, and then I think I learned it from my brother only later that for me to influence them, I need to develop an equation with them, like for me to cut through. Like the respect doesn't come from what I've achieved in life, but actually comes from how much involved I am in their lives, and then probably what I'm saying will make sense to them.
Yeah, it's very tough to because you have to basically disarm someone first. You open up that. The moment you go in the aggressive, the guard is up, and then they're like, any words you are saying right now, I'm just seeing you, the person. So I think I read somewhere like you're trying to change someone's whole set of beliefs essentially, and that is very hard. So you have to do it in a way which, I mean, it's tough.
But I also feel that given like the world we're living in right now and the country we're living in right now, this is something we should not give up on, in the sense that is the only place where you can actually do debates now and people will not attack you physically or put you in jail. So I think families
in person or in WhatsApp?
No, I'm saying family groups, I'm saying I also struggle with it, because at the end of it disturbs my mental peace. So beyond a point, I'm like, okay, you know what, let them believe what they want to believe. But I think when I meet them, I also tell myself that this is the only place where this can actually have some value, this debate, because social media पे करो, चाहे stand up में करो, और कहीं भी आप बहुत वल्नरेबल हो करने में आज की डेट में, और दूसरा वही कि दे आर सो डिस्टेंट फ्रॉम यू, आप उनकी लाइफ में कोई खास वैल्यू ऐड नहीं कर रहे, तो आपके क्यों ही सुनेंगे. बट फैमिली इज अ सिस्टम वेयर यू माइट बी एबल टू मेक अ डिफरेंस बाय बीइंग एट इट, इवन दो सॉर्ट ऑफ it affects your mental peace a little bit.
No, when I read, I love going to the extreme right or extreme left, or both are extremely entertaining to read. Extreme right, they don't make good memes, so it's not, I don't stay there as long. But what I love is that the extreme left, extreme right, they have a constant complaint about comedians, that they think we have a perceived preference, but what they don't see is that we always stay away from any sort of majority or generalized movement, because our profession doesn't allow us to generalize people. Because yesterday I did an open mic and we were making jokes about a certain political party and all of us were having fun, and there was a very sweet girl in the audience whose dad works for said political party. And immediately I had a sense of like, oh, oh, I felt bad for her because I'm like, I've been just like roasting this. And I'm sure for her, it might be stinging her that, it's not my fault my dad's in this thing.
Yeah.
And she's also a human being. And she also said, I don't agree with said political party. But then I stopped and I was like, even when I think I'm very right, I constantly am reminded that there are people with feelings and who are different, who have different living experience. Who she must be going home and seeing this side every day. So you just can't make blanket statements. So I think comics always never support any party that makes blanket statements like this is how it is, because we are like, nothing is that black and white.
Almost always when I've tried to have such a conversation with someone, I've become as aggressive and judgmental and name calling as they have been to me.
I
I'm
mean,
like, there's no difference.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing
Yeah.
exactly the same thing, just from the
Yeah.
opposite sides.
You probably
the right side.
Yeah. You probably both left the argument feeling stronger about your.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like I was listening to what they had to say very like with an open mind or anything.
Yeah.
And plus, like, I also sometimes feel like it sounds very patronizing when someone 30 years younger than you is telling you how to believe about things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're debating with infants.
Yeah, and I was
She
like,
30
yeah.
I was like, what is this
Who's this
conversation?
articulate kindergarten student like, maybe Shreeja.
And then I also start thinking about what if when I have children or
Yeah,
you know
we're
or
all
you know
waiting.
just people multiple generations younger to me.
Correct.
Then they start trying to
They're
mess
multiple
with my
generations younger than
belief.
you. What, you
Multiple
skipped?
generations
Damn,
younger
you're
than-
thinking way ahead.
Yeah.
What if they start talking to me like this, like, you know, in a paid कि तुम्हें पता नहीं है,
Yeah.
ऐसे करना चाहिए तुम्हें, मतलब everything you believe is very wrong.
Yeah.
मुझे भी
But
अच्छा
मुझे
नहीं
भी लगता है कि I don't think it's about beliefs, it's about information, like passing
हाँ,
on the right.
information.
But I'm like, okay, it's very difficult to do. It's like I really have to tell myself that you still have to keep doing it. Maybe not the
Yeah.
argument. Like I think like the approach of my mother is कि if she is quoting some article, I make it a point to go find the counter article and tell her कि look, this is also fake. And that is also the conversation I have with my cousins when I'm like fighting with them. But at the end of it, like, that happens. Like you end up becoming a very bad version of yourself. But I'm guessing क्या ही कर सकते.
But so that's why I've like narrowed it down to just 3-4 very things that I feel very passionately about, that I will fight till the end.
Yeah, you
or
have to
till
pick
they
your
shut
battles.
up.
Got
Pick
it.
your battles.
Like,
yes.
no, this you can't believe.
So
Sorry.
Shivax, that's what you do. You can't ignore. Don't fight all of them. But I have 3 bullet points. Like, if they talk about these 3 things, then
Yeah, and you should argue
person.
about it. Argue about it like you know, sometimes, like I'm saying sometimes, but you know, if you're giving a vaccine shot to a cat,
Okay.
very specific example. I've seen
Interesting.
like they feed the cat while they're giving the shot, so you like. So they're distracted and like, I like this.
yeah.
But wait, what's this over here?
Yes.
But you can't just give the shot.
Correct.
You have to also keep giving the, so
Yeah.
that combination.
That's a beautiful
Yeah,
analogy.
Like,
Yeah.
get married to the person they want you to marry and then say कि भाई
He's Kabir singing me every day. So I shouldn't have got married. So, guys, that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Shamik, Shreeja, and
Thank you.
Prashasti, it was a pleasure. We actually pushed this episode so that Shreeja could make it because she had a urgent open heart surgery she had to observe on Sunday in Bangalore. But I'm so glad we could do this. And thank you so much for the questions. And if you want to hear the audio version of this and don't want to like stare at it and you just want to treat this as secondary form of entertainment which doesn't deserve your eyes, you can listen on any audio platform except Doordarshan. That we didn't pass their
Damn.
legal team. So thank you so much for watching. It's on all platforms. And please, if you have a question, put hashtag SimpleKid in the comments, or you can go to the Instagram and ask a specific question. Some question from Instagram. A lot of people want to be anonymous because our families will somehow find out. It's incredible. So you can write anonymous and all. So thank you so much, and until next time, tata, bye bye.
It's time for simple. It's time for simple. It's time for simple, simple.